yes, there you are. Step right in. Getting it? Getting it?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a bit, Eddie.
Oh.
Background singers.
We can dance to
Yeah. Do the dance, Eddie. Do the Christmas dance. The Christmas boogie.
Maybe they'll sing all night, man.
It's got louder.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go past.
I was one of those cars, yeah.
It is a truck.
Is it?
One from that road. What's in there? The only one. What's this about? Yeah. It's not big enough to go around there.
I can try.
Is it quiet enough?
Don't give it to him.
Quiet enough?
Yeah.
You can all hear me up there?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, before we begin, I want to tell you about perhaps the last meeting of the All Anjuna Intellectuals Club. It was held in one of the local restaurants one day last week. The intellectuals, all male, were sitting at one table. Their girlfriends and wives were sitting at an adjoining table. Girlfriends and were talking about the latest fashions, the sexual failings of their boyfriends and husbands, and while the men attended to the great questions of the day, such as what is the definition of eternity that any man can understand? I know. It's when you come, it's the distance between. It's the length of time between when you come and she leaves. Now I have a question. What is more terrifying than a bull pit with AIDS? Well, that would be the man who gave it to him. Well, why haven't they discovered a cure for AIDS?
I know, because the scientists can't get the rats to engage in anal sex. And now I want to know how my son in college can recognize if his roommate is becoming homosexual. Well, that's easy. I mean, you know, and his cock begins to taste like shit. It's very quiet tonight, isn't it? What's the worst thing about being an atheist? I know that one. You have no one to talk to when you're getting a terrific blowjob. Now, let's see, I have another question. Who enjoys sex more, men or women? Well, women do, of course. What do you mean, of course? Of course they do. I mean, I can prove it to you. Just take your finger, stick it in your ear, rub it, take your finger out. What feels better, your finger or your ear? Why do women have cunts? I know that one. It's so men will talk with them. A hush fell over the table where the women were sitting. They began to listen to the next question. What's the difference between a pussy and a cunt. Oh, I know that one. A pussy is warm, soft, and biting. A cunt is the one who has one. That's when the meeting came to an end. The women, infuriated, attacked the intellectuals with knives, forks, uneaten food, plates. And that was the end of that. Are you ready? I look up from my plate in Joe Bananas to see a woman in her mid-30s smiling down at me. She's accompanied by a man who seems about the same age, wearing a suit. Yeah, I'm Eddie. That's what they call me, amongst other more derogatory appellations. Oh, I can see by your hand that you're 8-finger Eddie. Are you a couple of attorneys who've come here to give me, to tell me I've inherited a huge legacy? Oh no, we're not attorneys, sorry. Oh, well then, I'm not the true 8-finger Eddie. I'm a usurper. Oh, what became of the genuine 8-finger Eddie? He was disposed of. Oh, when did that happen? Way back when. Well, if you've been presenting yourself as 8-finger Eddie since that time, well, I guess you'll have to do. I don't have to do anything. No, I mean, we may as well interview you. Let me introduce myself and my husband. My name is Violetta Plum, and this is my husband, Avery. Would you accede to our request to be interviewed? Yeah, sure. Oh, that's very gratifying to hear. For a sum. Oh, my God. How much of sum? Only $5,000. That's preposterous, my man. What are you talking about? That's what I usually charge. You mean to tell me that people have been paying you $5,000 for an interview? That's what I usually charge. But fortunately, no one until now has paid me anything like that. Well, perhaps Avery and I can give you something. Yes, Avery? Well, we can give you 100 rupees. Good, I'll take it. Thanks. Now can we discuss, where are you? Where can we have this interview with you? Where can we... I'll tell you that when I get the $5,000 in my hand. But the 100 rupees, my man! Oh, I thought you were giving that because you could see I'm old, virtually crippled, and without family. And so you expect us to support you? Oh, no, Avery, he's not expecting us to support him. He's only asking that much money to dissuade us from interviewing him. Oh, Eddie, if you won't allow us to interview you, our trip to India will have been in vain. Oh, what are you talking about, Violetta? There's a beautiful beach out there for you to cavort upon. I mean, eat, drink, be merry. Sit down, let me order you guys a drink. Oh, no, we won't hear of that. Let us order you something. All right. I'll have 2 strawberry milkshakes. 2 strawberry milkshakes? Well, there are 2 of you, aren't there? And I offered both of you a drink. Didn't I? Each of you a drink, didn't I? Oh, let's not quibble, Avery. Waiter, 2 strawberry milkshakes for Eddie. Now, Eddie, please, can we discuss more reasonable terms for an interview with you? You haven't given up on that idea, I see. Listen, Violetta, I want to impress one thing upon your mind. I must have cash! Oh, we were led to believe that you're a very unworldly type of person. Oh, yeah, so you want to come here and profit on my unworldliness, huh? Listen, you're going to sell this interview, right? So why shouldn't I get my part of the take? Oh, but Eddie, we're not certain of selling the interview. So you're a couple of gamblers, but I'm not.
I only bet on sure things.
Come, dear, let's leave this man. He's nothing but an unconscionable rogue.
He's been very straightforward with us, Avery. That's all.
Let me ask you a question. How long is this interview going to take?
Oh, 90 minutes.
Well, since I'm becoming very fond of you two, I'm going to make a huge discount. Just pay me $8 a minute.
We'll give you 1,
7,
2, 6, 3,
5, and that's as low as I can permit myself to go. Just pay me $500.
90 minutes times $5 is only $450.
Oh, come on, Avery, let's not quibble over a mere $50.
Well, Eddie, when and where can we hold this interview with you?
Tomorrow afternoon in my place. I'll show you where that is as soon as I finish these strawberry milkshakes. But I must impress on you again, you must bring cash. The next afternoon, in my room.
Well, Eddie, aren't you ready yet?
I'm still counting. Why did you people insist on paying me $500 in 1 rupee notes?
Come, man. There are 101 rupee notes in each one of those bundles. $500 at the rate of 30 rupees to the dollar is 15,000 rupees.
That's not even the bank rate.
There are 150 bundles of 101 rupee notes. You needn't count each note in each bundle.
Well, man, how do I know you haven't slipped out a rupee or two from some of these bundles?
Now it's you who are quibbling, Mr. Eddie.
Well, I mean, where do you guys expect me to store 15,000 1 rupee notes?
Well, if you're going to make such a fuss about this, just return the money to us, and we'll forget about this interview. Too late.
Once money is in my possession, it's out of circulation. Tomorrow I'll hire a bullock cart to take the notes to the bank and exchange them for 500 rupee notes.
Well, are you ready to begin, Eddie?
Hey, Avery, you got the camera to catch the best angle on my face? Well, I've been able to upgrade your looks from grotesque to merely ugly. Can't you do better than that? Well, there's only a camera. What else can I can't do any more.
Are you ready now, Eddie?
Is the stopwatch set for 90 minutes?
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
Well, Eddie, let us begin with asking you about why you are called Eight-Finger Eddie. How is it that there are 2 fingers missing from your right hand?
Do I have to answer that question?
Why don't you wish to?
It's very embarrassing.
Oh, Eddie, at your age you should be over all those kind of emotions. So, come, please, tell us.
Well, it happened when I was a 16-year-old boy, very shy. I was visiting with my girlfriend, Merlene. She was a classmate of mine who lived 2 doors away from me. I'd gone to her house to listen to music, the new records that she bought, and we had some milk, chocolate cake, and I got up to leave. She said,
Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy, man? Oh, man, haven't you looked outside? Haven't you been listening to the radio? They've been announcing this is the coldest day ever recorded.
well, I'm going home. I'm a Boy Scout. I'm an honor student in school. I go to church every Sunday. I only live 2 doors away from here. I'm going home. See you. I opened the door and it was like that. I shut it immediately. It was a blizzard.
You see, Smarty, you can't go home. You'll have to sleep here. Come upstairs and I'll show you where you're going to sleep. So I followed Merlene up the stairs, and she led me to a room with a double bed. I went into the room and sat on the bed. And I waited for Merlene to leave the room. But she remained standing at the door, smiling at me, until I finally had to ask her, and where are you going to sleep, Merlene? Oh, I in that bed with you. No, I'm a Boy Scout. I'm an honor student in school. I go to church every Sunday. Impossible. She said, well, there's nowhere else for you to sleep, Eddie. There's only 2 beds in the house, and my mother's sleeping in the other one. Why don't you sleep with your mother? Oh, but that's a single bed, Eddie. Well, why don't I sleep downstairs on the couch? Oh, but you'll freeze down there. My mother and I have to use every blanket on a night like this. This is unprecedentedly cold, Eddie. Oh, Eddie, what's wrong? Are you shy? Oh, you're shy, aren't you? Oh, then I'll tell you what. You get undressed here while I go next door into the toilet and get undressed. When you're snug in bed, you call me. She left the room. I got undressed and got under the covers, but I didn't call her. I was hoping daylight would come to save me. Or perhaps in the toilet she might forget all about me. No, the door was flung open and she came running in completely naked. She said, wait! I go to church every Sunday. I'm an honor student in school. I'm a Boy Scout. You sleep on that side of the bed, and I will sleep on this side of the bed. Right, whatever you say. So she got in the bed on the very end. I was on the side. We were lying there for about 5 minutes when she said, Eddie, I'm cold, Eddie. Aren't you? Yeah. I have an idea, Eddie. What is it? If we move a little bit closer to the center of the bed, we'll be warmer. No, I'm a Boy Scout. I go to church every Sunday, and I'm an honor student in school. We can't do that. Oh, Eddie, come. We're going to turn into human icicles. Please, don't be selfish, Eddie. All right, so we moved a little bit closer to the center of the bed. We're lying there for a few minutes, and then she says, I'm still cold, Eddie. Aren't you? Listen, I have another idea. If we move right to the center of the bed so that our bodies are touching each other, then we'll be warm. No, I'm a Boy Scout. No, Eddie, you've never been a Boy Scout. You don't even know how to tie your shoelaces. You've never been an honor student in school, and you've never been to church in your life. Come, my last suggestion was good, wasn't it? Come, let's move to the center of the bed. So we moved right smack to the center of the bed until our bodies were touching. Then she lifted her lips to my ears and she whispered, oh, Eddie, and now I want you to put your hand where I pee. The next morning I was found with half my hand frozen in the toilet bowl. You expect us to believe that fraudulent tale? Be serious. You don't like that version? We want facts, not fiction. Now start again. Tell us what really happened. Now, if you don't believe what I just told you, you're not going to you're really not going to believe what really happened. Tell us nevertheless. Violetta, set the watch back to 90 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. I don't go on unless you give me a written statement that you're not going to use this thing about Merlene and me. We'll give you that statement after the interview has been completed. All right, begin again. Well, Eddie, let us begin with asking you, how is it that you have 2 fingers missing from your right hand? As a young boy, I was very, very, very too fond of hot dogs. You were fond of hot dogs? Yes. 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 Oh, I see you don't make the connection. I'll have to spell it out for you. You see, one afternoon while my mother was out shopping, I happened upon a packet of hot dog buns. Immediately my mouth began to salivate, thinking of all the hot dogs I was going to eat. But when I looked in the refrigerator, there wasn't a single hot dog. Just as I was about to fall into utter despair, stamp my feet on the floor and bang my head against the wall, I noticed that my fingers slightly resembled hot dogs. I wondered if they would be a reasonable substitute. I would experiment. I took a hot dog bun and placed my littlest finger, my smallest finger, in the bun. The smallest finger, because at that time I had the habit of saving the best for last. If my mother served me, for instance, banana cream pie, I would eat the crust first, the filling next, and the best part, the cream, last.
Come, man, you're digressing. You placed your smallest finger in a hot dog bun.
Yes, yeah. Then I covered it lavishly with mustard and piccalilli. And I took my first bite. It was so good. I finished off the finger in no time flat. Oh, that must have been a very excruciating experience. No, the taste was so red I didn't even feel the pain. So next, I placed my next smallest finger in a hot dog. Covered it lavishly again with mustard and pickled piggy. I finished that finger. So there it is. Just as I was contemplating the pleasure I would derive from eating my two largest fingers, my mother came. Oh, she must have been aghast when she saw you. Oh yes, she nearly went berserk. Look at the mess you made in my kitchen! Blood on my linoleum, on the newly washed walls. Blood on your new clothes and on your face. Oh. And worst of all, just think of the shame you brought onto our family's name. Why was I cursed with such a perverse child? If I'd known you were going to turn out like this on the day you were born, I would have placed you in a toilet and flushed you out of my life. Now, you clean up every spot of blood. You don't get to eat tonight. Wasn't she at all concerned about your condition? Oh yeah, from that night on, there was always plenty of hot dogs in the refrigerator. Oh, so your mother saved you from crippling yourself completely. Yes, when I was a teenager, I regretted that very much. I wish that I had eaten all my fingers. Oh, why so ever so? Because I loved nothing better than to listen to music.
Come, Violetta, are we going to go on with this? This is just the cock and bull stories he's telling us.
Oh, but we may be capturing the essence of Eight-Finger Eddie.
This has no essence whatsoever.
Oh, but it might be a good read, and besides, we've already given him the money, and I don't think we'll be able to recover it from him unless we subject him to, very much the physical discomfort. I say we continue with the interview.
All right, but be mindful of the fact that I'm set against it.
So, Eddie, you said that you wished that you had completely crippled your right hand because you love to listen to music more than anything else in life.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, I see, you don't make the connection again. Okay.
Coupled with my wish to have crippled myself was the dread that someday, my studies completed, I would have to go to work. Oh, now I see. By crippling yourself, you would make yourself unemployable, and then you would be able to listen to music all your days.
Hey, Violetta, you got it, baby, you got it.
Oh, thank you, Eddie. Yes, and then for a long time, I wished fervently to become blind.
Why didn't you blind yourself? What kept you from that? Abject fear?
No, it was a book. You see, one afternoon while I was listening to music, my best friend came, and he said, Eddie, man, you gotta read this book, baby. It's a great book, man. Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. You just gotta read it, man. Wow. You're gonna dig it. Listen. It's admirable that you listen to music in all your spare time, but you gotta remember, stop listening to music when your ears become tired. You don't want to do that. So what you do is you listen to music for 30 minutes, and then you read a chapter. You listen to music for another 30 minutes, you read a chapter. So on, till the book's finished. When you finish the book, return it to the public library. I really detested his presumption. How dared he tell me to interrupt my listening to music to read a mere book? I was determined that I was going to return that book unread to the public library. But then I thought, well, my friend, he's turned me on to a lot of great music that I would have never discovered on my own. And maybe now he's trying to turn me on to something else. It's okay. I would read this one book and never read another book again. But as I read, I became so enthralled with the story that I wished it would never end. And when it did, I not only returned the book to the public library, but I got a library card and looked on the shelves for more books by Dostoevsky. And from then on, my curiosity expanded to include other writers. Oh, so you were willing to risk being employed because of your love of literature? Yes, but I was saved from that dire fate by a lovely young girl who loved to listen to music and read as much as I did. For 18 months we lived in sheer bliss, by our wits and on the land. And then she became ambitious. Eddie, man, I'm tired of living like this, moving from one lovely place to another. Oh, man, now I want a house of my own, so nobody can ever tell me to move. I want money in the bank, and I want an income for life. Well, baby, you know that I don't want to work for any of these things. Eddie, man, I'm not asking you to work, baby. I'm going to get it all. Oh, yeah? How are you going to do that? I thought it was even before I met you. I even looked for an apartment, but nobody would rent me one because I had a cat and a dog at the time. But now, while I'm young and have my looks, I want to have slaves. But Eddie, I thought slavery was abolished in America. It's been abolished in America for more than 100 years. What did your girlfriend want to do? Purchase a plantation in some third world country? I'm talking about sexual slaves, Violetta. Surely you've heard of those. Oh, yes. Well, go on. What happened? Well, I told her, listen, baby, I guess this is goodbye for us. Oh, goodbye. Well, what's wrong, man? Can't you dig me, man? Can't you love me if I have slaves? Well, it's not that so much. It's just the thought of living in air-polluted Los Angeles. What difference does it make where you live, man? Where you sit and listen to music? Well, that was true in a way. And it was true, too, that she was offering me what I had longed for quite some time, to be supported by a woman.
I mean, I used to envy all those painters and writers and artists who were taken care of by their girlfriends. I doubted that that would ever happen to me. Here it was happening to me, and I was trying to reject it. I guess you get everything you want, sometimes when you don't even want it anymore. So what did you do? Well, she was beautiful, she was intelligent, she was witty, and I was hung up on her. What do you think I did? I let her take me out of paradise. Just as I thought, Violetta. This degenerate is nothing but a pimp. And that's not what my girlfriend said when we split up. She said, you weren't even as useful as a pimp, Eddie. You never got me one single client. So you became a kept man. Well, it's more like a house sponge. I was taking care of all the household chores, doing the shopping, the cooking. I learned to cook gourmet meals. Japanese, Chinese, French, Armenian.
Well, that's more than you do for me, Violetta.
Oh, but Eddie did it for his girlfriend, so you could do it for him.
Oh, what am I saying? What am I saying?
So you could do it for me.
Yes, that's right. That's the way it should. Come on, Eddie, get it.
So you could do it for me.
But I'm not living the life of a pampered gigolo.
So, well, Eddie, let's go on. Was your girlfriend successful in her endeavors?
Oh, yeah, sure. In a very short time, except for a few glitches with the police, she got everything she wished for. There was one flaw. She couldn't stop working. Hey, baby, now that you got everything, why don't you retire, baby? Eddie, man, I've tried, believe me, I've tried. I just can't give up those thousands of dollars every week. Besides, I'm really getting into beating up on these guys, you know. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to kill one of them these days. Hey, baby, don't talk like that. That's a harrowing thought. Me trying to carry some cumbersome inert body surreptitiously down the back stairs out of the apartment house to dispose of where?
Don't worry, man. If that happens, we'll just chop the body up into carrier-friendly pieces.
No, listen, baby, listen. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I can't bear to hear the thumps, the crashes, the snap of your whip, the agonized cries of your slaves while I'm trying to read in the next room. I mean, why don't I live in your new house? I mean, it's crazy to have a new house and not live in it.
But I need you near me. You think of such novel ways of torturing people.
Yes, but my imagination has run dry a long time ago. Like, I have to admit that the last few tortures I presented to you were culled from books dealing with the atrocities committed by man against his fellow man down through the ages. But listen, baby, there are only a few ways that you can bring severe pain to a body short of killing it. It's very limited, you know. So you're so squeamish. You can contemplate living without me. All right, go from me. But you don't have to get pale. You don't have to start quivering. I remember what you've done for me. In remembrance of all the services you've rendered me, I'll continue to take care of your basic needs. Not in America, but in India, where everything is cheaper.
So that's how you discovered India, isn't it? And you've been very fortunate in being able to avoid gainful employment, haven't you?
Yes. Everything seems to have fallen in place precisely at the right moment.
just think, if I'd been born 50 years earlier or 50 years later, I might have missed Goa.
Oh, what is it about Goa that so attracts you, Eddie?
Oh, here I've been able to succeed as a failure. Previously in life, I had failed at everything I tried to do. Here I've succeeded admirably at doing nothing.
Oh,
Yes, you have all the markings of a consummate... You leave me speechless.
yes, you forgot your lines, haven't you?
Consummate. Anyway, let's get on with this.
So, Eddie, you found India, and you're very happy here. But I think that you're trying to... I mean, it's well known that in your early years here, you fed and housed many of the earliest hippies who came to Goa. Surely that was doing something, and doing it altruistically.
It's not in my nature to be motivated by generous impulses. If I did feed and house those early hippies, it was a calculated investment in my future welfare.
Oh, how so?
Well, I knew that by the law of averages, some of these people were bound to succeed and become financially successful in life, and that they would return to compensate me for what I'd done for them. I fed them when food was cheap. Now they're feeding me when it's dear.
Oh, Eddie, I think you're just trying to present yourself as a parsimonious old blackguard.
Well, judging from the way treatment he's been meeting to us, that's precisely what he is.
Oh, Eddie, and then what did you gain by instituting the flea markets in Goa?
No, I didn't. Listen, I've been castigated for just that by people who've now come to detest the flea market. But it is an utter fallacy that I brought the flea market to Goa. I'll tell you what really happened. There was a Chinese freak staying with us, and one day I asked him, "Juan, what is a flea market?" Now, someone must have overheard, because in a short while it was all across the scene that I had said, "What's wrong with a flea market?"
But Eddie, the first flea markets were held in the front yard of the ruins you was living on at that time. So surely you must have been instrumental in bringing them about.
No, you see, those early freaks, they were very deficient in the powers of verbal description. So they decided to show me what a flea market is instead of trying to describe it in words.
Yes. So Eddie, and lately you have been presenting these one-man dramas. Is this another instance of your doing nothing?
Yes, it is. You see, because the characters I portray come to life spontaneously in my mind and then demand that I give voice to them.
Oh, so you're saying that you're not creating these characters as much as that they are creating you as a performer.
Right, precisely.
So Eddie, tell us how you spend a typical day
In Goa, I wake up in the morning and have breakfast right away. Then I do nothing successfully until lunch. After lunch, I do nothing successfully until dinner. After dinner, I do, again, some successful nothingness till sleep. If there's a party, I may wake up and go to it.
You are the epitome of indolence.
Oh, Eddie, and no love life?
Why is it that whenever you people come out here, you always ask about sex and drugs?
But Eddie, I was asking about your love, not your sex life.
Same thing. Is there a love life without sex? Come on. Anyway, I can say that I've never had a love life.
Oh, how sad, Eddie.
Ever since the age of 10 and a half, I determined that there was no such thing as this thing called love. Yes.
Oh. Oh.
There were a few women in my life who thought they loved me, but they soon learned that they were deluding themselves.
Oh, that's very bad, Eddie. So you believe only in sex?
I don't believe in sex. I see it everywhere. The cats, the dogs, the cows, the bulls. And amongst your friends here, go, ha, 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 ha. Listen, Avery, in Los Angeles, in the late 50s and early 60s, amongst the middle classes, there was much more sexual activity than there ever has been here in Goa. Almost every party that my girlfriend and I went to at those times turned into a sex orgy. Almost every couple we ever met eventually asked us if we'd like to change partners. Nothing like that has ever happened in Goa. So, and then the same thing goes for the use of drugs. There's probably just as much of that going on the street where you live in America as there is here in Goa. People who use drugs are only exercising their personal freedoms. Oh, but they're violating the law. Who makes those laws, man? These politicians who are always spouting freedom, 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 the free world, the free this, who don't know a single thing about freedom. They don't know the first thing about it. But there goes the bell. 90 minutes is up. Okay, shut it off. Okay, it's all finished.
But anyway, we haven't even talked about the parties.
You want to know about a party, go look at one. One glance will tell you more than 1,000 words that I can tell you. Let's go.
Well, Eddie, thank you very much for your cooperation. Although we doubt the veracity of all that you've told us.
Well, too bad you won't be able to verify anything I've said.
Oh, but we may, Eddie, we may. We'll question a few other people who've been here for some time. We intend to stay in Goa for a while.
Well, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Why do you say that? Because many couples who come here for the first time break up.
Oh, why should we?
Well, no, you shouldn't actually, if you recognize that basically everyone is a complete bore. And if you know that about each other and can live with it, well, then you're okay.
Well, I think our relationship can weather any storm. Don't you, Avery?
Without a doubt, my dear. A few days later, in Xavier's restaurant.
Oh, Eddie, may we join you at your table? You're sitting alone, I see.
Yes, Violetta, sit down. Sit down, Avery. Yes. Look, I'm not holding any grudge against you guys for underpaying me for that interview.
Oh, so we that should be holding a grudge against you for that abysmal interview. Well, what can you recommend that we eat here?
Order whatever appeals to you. If you can't finish it or if you don't like it, I know someone who can. You insatiable glutton. I'm the skinniest glutton you ever saw. I'll wager you've never had a dog. How'd you know? Because you're so bony, it would have kept trying to bury you. No, but I deliberately keep myself thin to benefit humankind and the earth. The earth produces plenty of food. There's no shortage of food on the earth, my boy. There's a shortage of space, and I consider it my duty to take up as little space as possible. I know why you keep yourself so emaciated, so your friends will take pity on you and feed you. You got it, Avery. You hit it right on the nose, baby. Yeah. And in order to do that, I swallow a tapeworm.
Isn't that dangerous, Eddie?
Yes, it is. Sometimes the tapeworm gets so big, it looks like I'm gaining weight, actually. So then I have to dispel the worms.
Oh, how do you do that? With worm medicine?
No. I eschew the use of toxic pharmaceuticals. I use natural means to get rid of the worm.
Oh, how so?
Well, I fast for 1, 2, 3 days. Then I prepare a pot of very pungent food. I pile the food on a plate. I hold the plate up to my open mouth. When the starving worm comes out of my mouth to get to the food, I grab it and I pull it out.
Oh, Eddie! Eddie, you're making me fire up. You're ruining my appetite, Eddie.
No, Violetta. All food, lots of it. Don't let what I say create a block in your mind against eating. You don't want to become anorexic. I know what it is trying to do. He's trying to sicken you so that you give him all your food. No, look, I used to do those things. I had a sister who had a very queasy stomach. Once she saw chicken killed and she didn't eat chicken for years. So whenever my mother served us a dessert that I wanted more of, I would tell her a little story at the table. Man! One boy grabbed all the big pieces and ran off. The other boy was standing there crying. Ah! The drunk took pity on him and flipped the coin to him and said, "Go, kid, go to the grocery shop, man, and get a loaf of bread and sop up the liquid parts." My sister would push the dessert away, and I'd grab it quick.
Now, wait, let's talk about some other matters. We've been to one of your much vaunted parties. Oh, quite a seedy affair, Eddie. But the dancers just hopping about any which way, raising a cloud of dust into the air, and the air already polluted with the stench emanating from the periphery of the party. Oh, God. And the less said about the music, the better.
Well, Violetta, you're going to love these parties. If you stay in Goa, you're going to love these parties.
How can you make such an astonishing statement?
You see, usually we tell them something that we didn't like. And conversely, we usually tire things that please us.
Well, at least Avery was getting into the swing of things at the party.
Yeah, well, the party wasn't as bad as it looked.
I hope you're not going to go to another one of those affairs, Avery.
Well, if I do, my dear, you need the company. Have you...
Well, the flea market was a much more orderly affair. At least the vendors were not hopping about every which way. And I did meet some very nice people staying in more luxurious hotels in Goa.
A bunch of long-faced prigs, if you ask me. And did you go to any of the beaches?
Yes, we went to quite a number of them. They will do. Oh, at least they're not too overcrowded, most of them. And on some of them, it was very disconcerting to hear the constant pock of balls being hit back and forth.
Oh, racquetball. I play that sometimes.
Yes, well, we weren't going to mention it to you, but Avery and I did manage to see you attempting to play that game. You looked absolutely ludicrous, didn't you, Avery?
Yes, I should suggest a more sedentary pastime for you, my friend.
Yeah, well, next year I'm entering the wheelchair tennis tournament. Yes. And now we're looking forward to coming to one of your shows, Eddie. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Oh, why not? Because you won't be able to hear a word I say. You see, my audiences are used to constantly walking about and talking while I'm speaking. And once in a while, someone or other will run up on stage and pat me on the back and praise me or censor me for what they believe I've said. Most of the time, I'm not saying anything. I'm just moving my lips. Well, why do people come to your shows if they don't intend to listen to you? Well, it affords them an excellent opportunity to be seen giving me alms. It's much better than if I should suddenly show up on their doorsteps. Oh, here's the waiter. We can order. Oh, Eddie, can we offer you a cup of tea? I never take tea without dessert. Oh, well, then select the dessert and we'll order it for you, Eddie. A few days later, in my room. Eddie, are you in there? Oh, Violetta, come in. Come in if you don't mind. If you don't mind, you're having your virtue violated. Oh, I don't think I need to fear that from a dried-up old prune such as yourself. All right, Violetta. Oh, sit down, Violetta. But I don't see any chairs. You see the floor, don't you? What do you think it's for? You can stand on it, sit on it, lie on it. Ah, you're kind of creepy, Violetta. Better get some exercise. You look like you're been sitting in chairs too long. What brings you around? Oh, Eddie, something dreadfully ominous is happening. Avery is going to sitting and smoking those vile chili pipes. Chillums. You let the chillums. Oh, whatever they're called. He comes home in such a stupefied state that he finds unwarranted merriment in everything I try to say or do. Have you tried smoking with him? No, heavens no. I don't want to fall into such an insensible state. No, and worst of all, Eddie, there are women in those circles that he's smoking with. I think they will see that regard him as an old fool who can be taken advantage of easily. He's not so old, he's not even 40 years old yet. There are many men much older than Avery here. Yes, but if one of those girls should take it into her head to seduce Avery, I fear for his life. He has a very weak heart. What are you trying to tell me, that you and Avery don't have sex? Oh, yes, but we know how to curb our ardor. Yeah. How do you do that? While you're fucking, you think of maggoty old garbage pails? Is that what you do? Well, I used to do something like that. I'd be fucking with a beautiful girl, and I would think of varicose-veined old women. So I wouldn't come too quick. But that's hardly being in the here and now, it isn't. Sex for me was never in the here and now. There was always an element of fantasy involved. I mean, again, I could be with a very beautiful girl, but if I'd been with her many times before, I would find myself invariably thinking of someone else while I was fucking her. And because, you see, without imagination, there would be no thrill accompanying the orgasm. Oh, yes. I mean, when you're cuddled up in bed, don't you, cuddled up in bed with your vibrator, don't you have any sexual fantasies? How dare you be so presumptuous? I've never in my life owned a vibrator. I thought all self-respecting American women had vibrators. What's the matter? You afraid it might get wedged in there, stuck in there. That happened to a girl I know. Yes, she called the doctor. The doctor came and took a look and said, "Man, it's going to be a difficult job getting that out of there, you know." I didn't ask you to take it out, she said. Just change the battery. And just the other day I was at a bar, and this guy was trying to pick up this girl in the bar, and she said, "What do I need you for? What do I need any man for? My vibrator can do anything that you can do." Yeah, man, let's see your vibrator get up and order us a round of drinks. Then there was a woman I knew who was so cautious that she used to put condoms on her vibrator.
Eddie, I didn't come here to talk about sexual proclivities of the whole universe. I came here because I'm concerned about Avery's health. First of all, he's going to every single party.
Well, the exercise should be good for his heart.
But too much exercise, Eddie.
Well, then go with him to the parties and monitor his physical activity.
I can't picture myself descending into those dust bowls to leap about frenetically to that abysmal music.
Listen, Frida, why did you come here? I'm no marriage counselor, you know.
I came here because I wished you're the only one I could turn to. I wish that if you see Avery, advise him to spend more time at home.
Now, why don't you tell him that yourself?
I've told you already. He laughs uproariously every time I open my mouth.
Well, become a stand-up comic. With Avery in the audience, you should be a big success.
I don't find any humor in my situation. Not a whit of humor. Please. Oh, help me. You won't help me?
Look, I don't promise you anything. I'm certainly not going to look up Avery. A few days later at Joe Bananas. "Hey, Eddie, old man, how you doing, baby?" I look at Avery. He's all dressed up in colors. "Hey, sit down, Avery, man. What's happening?" "Hey, wow, man, all right." Yeah, I see. Party life is suiting you, huh? "Yeah, man, I'm really digging it, baby, digging it." Swinging, man. Wow. Yeah, so Violetta tells me she's concerned much about your health, you know. Hey, will you do me a favor, man? What's that? Tell Violetta to leave, to split the scene. You crazy or what? Man, what right have I got to tell your wife to leave? She'll laugh in my face or think I'm out of my mind. There are some things you have to do for yourself, man. How would you like it if I ordered a milkshake for me on you? "I'd love it, baby. Go ahead, man." All right, hey, give me one coffee, chocolate milkshake on him. Yeah. Hey, man, you do that with so much finesse, baby. Yeah, well, sure. I mean, it comes natural for me to graciously accept whatever is offered. Why should I hypocritically decline the offer and then wait anxiously for it to be renewed? What if it isn't? I mean, if somebody rejects what I offer them, I accept that rejection immediately. So you're doing a crusade against hypocrisy, are you? No. It's not that so much. I guess I'm just naive. I just believe what people say. I mean, back in Los Angeles when I was with my girlfriend, we'd be at someone's house. We'd get up to leave. The hostess would come running over.
"Oh, must you leave? Oh, can't you stay a little longer? We've so enjoyed your company. Please stay."
So I'd stay. Later, my girlfriend would say, "Man, what's wrong with you, baby?" She didn't want us to stay. She was just being polite. I mean, that's the kind of shit I could never get with, man. I never could get with it. Yeah, it's a bore, man. Bore. Fuck a bore, man. So, Avery, why did you ask me to tell Violetta to leave? Well, because, I mean, you know, well, I mean, you're the kind of guy who's more accustomed to doing the things like that. Me, I've never asked Violetta to leave before, man. I hate the cause. I hate to hurt her. Stay with her and hurt yourself. That's out of the question. That's out of the question. Ken. It's just a thought. I mean, you know, I've invested so much of my life in with Violetta that it's just a shame to just toss it all away like that. Yeah, well, you invested your time in the relationship when it was good. And now that it's no good anymore, why invest more time into it? Yeah, I guess you're right. But man, I just wish that she would loosen up a bit, man. Get with it. What, you stay with her then? Yeah, I wish. I haven't met anybody I dig more than her, man. Yeah. It's just that taking all these drugs opened my eyes to some of her limitations. Speaking of drugs, can I roll a joint here? Yeah, sure. A few days later, on the beach. Oh, there you are, well, Violetta, what are you doing here? You came here to watch me play racquetball and laugh up a storm? Huh?
No, Eddie. No. Have you seen Avery lately? He's become a veritable harlequin. He's emulating the multicolored brigade. And all the spare time at home, he spends juggling, practicing his juggling. He's reverting to childhood.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being childlike, is there?
But I hardly recognize the man. He's so changed.
Has he asked you to leave yet?
Yes, but I took that as a momentary aberration on his part. You see, while he was telling me to go, he was blushing and chuckling to himself. Oh.
Well, he's told me that he likes you more than anybody else that he's met so far. But he wishes you would loosen up a bit, you know?
How am I to do that?
Go to the parties and take drugs.
You mean to smoke those vile, chillums packed with all that tobacco? I've never even been able to inhale a cigarette, Eddie.
Well, listen, you don't have to smoke the tobacco. You smoke the stuff straight. You buy a pipe, a small pipe, pull it apart, take out the filter, throw it away, put it back together again, put a little bit of screen in here, metal screening, then you can smoke the hash straight. If you can't take that, take LSD.
Is that responsible, Eddie? You're advising me to take LSD?
Oh, come on. It's only party acid. 100 mics or less. Nothing can happen to you on that.
I'll make a proper fool of myself on the dance floor trying to leap about like a lissome 20-year-old.
Why are you so concerned about what other people think of you? No matter what you do, you can't please everyone. So, besides, other people are going to be so much into what they're doing they're not even going to notice you.
Oh, but Avery will see through my ruse. He'll see that I'm only pretending to enjoy myself to win him back.
Listen, if you really get into the dancing, you won't be pretending any longer.
I'm too old to change.
You're never too old to be young again, Violetta. About 6 weeks later, in Joe Bananas, here I see Violetta and Avery walk in, both dressed in color. I've seen them at parties, dancing at parties, but I haven't talked with either of them for quite some time. Hey, Eddie man, what's shaking, baby? Oh, hey. Oh, sit down, you guys, sit down. Hey, wow. Wow, you're both making it, huh? Yeah. I've seen you at parties, but I haven't talked about either of you for some time. Oh, well, we've hardly talked with each other. We've been practicing various skills. Isn't Violetta something, Eddie, man? Look at her, man. Wow, she's changed. Man, she's become the girl beyond all my dreams, man. You're right, Eddie. When you told me I let myself into the dancing, I really enjoyed it, man. Man, to think that I wanted you to be gone out of my life just a little while ago. Now I want you to be with me forever. You were right about another thing, Eddie. When you told us that if we stayed in Goa, we might split up. What are you saying, Floretta? I'm saying that our journey through life has come to an end. Ah. You met someone else? Who is he? No, there is no one else. It's just that in the past few weeks I've been living virtually alone, and I've come to cherish my aloneness. I've been able to go out and come whenever and wherever I wish. And without anyone to answer to. And I dig it. It's great being alone, isn't it, Eddie? Yeah, but Eddie's alone because nobody wants him. Well, I want to be someone no one wants. Violetta, I can't believe this, Violetta. You're just being vindictive because I wanted you to leave. And Avery, if I wished to be with you, nothing in the world would deter me. I'm much beyond hurting myself just to hurt you. God, leave this. Such a blow. I don't know if I can sustain it. Oh, Avery, you've been virtually living alone yourself all these weeks. Calm down. Is your decision irrevocable? Won't you reconsider? There is nothing to be reconsidered, Avery. Come on, Avery, let her go. It's just a woman. Yes, Avery. There are almost 3,000 million of us on the face of the earth. Yes, but you're the only one I want to be with. It's nothing to be gained being with someone who doesn't want to be with you, baby. Yeah, I know that. I guess I have to accept what is. But I can't help blaming Eddie for what's happened. Eddie didn't do anything but advise me to loosen up a bit, to conform to the way you wish me to be. So if there's anyone to blame, it's you. You wanted me to change, and I've changed, but not in the way you anticipate. But it's too late now to apportion blame. What's happened has happened. Yeah, Violetta. What do we do now? Now we smoke a pipe, and we order 2 strawberry milkshakes for Eddie. I thank you all for coming. It's been very nice to see you. Happy holiday to all of you. And I want to thank Gil and Ariane for providing me this space. Yes. All right. I don't suppose you want to hear any jokes.
Yeah.
All right.
Food of that's a big bear tail.
What do you want for Christmas, son?
I want to watch.
All right, Mommy and I will let you. Marvin gets a watch from his father for Christmas, a gold watch. Tony, from his father, gets a handgun. Tony and Marvin are school buddies. When they next meet, Tony is admiring Marvin's gold watch. Marvin is equally admiring of Tony's handgun. So they decide to make a swap. They change. That night when Tony is in his house, he happens to glance at his new watch to see if it's dinner time. His father notices the gold watch. Hey, where you get the watch, huh? I swapped for it. Marvin, my friend Marvin. I gave him the handgun for it. I thought that you had some brains in your head, but you don't have a brain, huh? You're stupid, huh? You can't think of the future, huh? Someday you're going to be married, right? And one day you're going to find your wife in bed with another man, right? And what are you going to do then, huh? You're going to stand there and look at your watch and say, how long you going to be? Hey, Dad, I just got my first blowjob. How was it, son? Too lousy. Doctor, I mean, my wife and I, we make contests out of everything. Athletics, intellectual pursuits, salaries, social... Man, my wife wins every single contest. I've never been able to win anything. I feel so demoralized. Well, we'll have to think up a contest which she can't possibly win. Let's see. Oh, yes. Yes, I have it. She'll have a contest to see who can piss highest against the wall. She can never win that contest. So the husband returns home. Darling, I've thought of a new game. Oh, I just love games. Oh, please. Come outside, dear. Come outside to the wall. Now we're going to see which one of us can piss highest on that wall.
Oh, I go first. Right?
Right. So she takes down her underpants, lifts up her skirt, lifts her leg, puts it against the wall, about six inches off the ground. The husband, he steps up to the wall, he unzips his pants, takes out his cock, and is about to piss when she says,
Wait, just 1 sec. No hands.
A girl who just returned here remembers a joke I told 9 years ago. She hasn't been here for 9 years. Maybe I should tell that joke. Mr. Cohen decides to become a Christian monk. His family, his wife, his daughter, his son, they all go to his christening, or his baptism. There's a tank of water. The minister is in the water with Mr. Cohen. Dips him into the water. You're not a Jew anymore. You're a Christian. You're not a Jew anymore. You're a Christian. You're not a Jew anymore. You're a Christian. Now you are a Christian. Good. I feel better already. All right, Dad. Give me the cars to the keys. Keys to the Give me the keys to the car. You're not going to drive anywhere. You're going to be in this fucking place now. Come on. Yes, all right. Take it, son. Take it. And then his daughter comes up. Daddy, give me the gold watch, please. You don't need to go with time it is while you're here.
And oh, this gold chain. Yes, thank Daddy. Oh, the gold ring too. Yes. Bye. Bye.
Then his wife comes.
The bank books. The bank books, yes. And the deeds to the property. Thank you. And the wedding ring, the gold wedding ring. Yes. Bye, Daddy. Bye.
2 minutes a Christian, and already the Jews have taken advantage of him. So the head of the monastery says, "Come, mister, come. And we will show you where you're going to stay. You're going to stay in this cell. This cell is where you will meditate, and if you wish, you may cook in the cell. Or you may eat in the commissary with the rest of us. But you must not cook meat." No meat? No meat? No meat. Chicken I can have. No chicken. You may have fish. So for some days, the head of the monastery doesn't see his new convert. He's wondering what's happening to him. So one day he goes to peek into the little glass that into the cell, and there he sees the new convert. He's got a bucket of water. He's got a chicken. You're not a chicken anymore. Here's another old favorite. Ronnie and Sally are university lovers. And one day Ronnie says, "Hey baby, can you French me?" "Oh Ronnie, how can you ask me such a thing?" "No, I can't. I know you won't respect me if I do." "Oh baby, how can you say that? I'll respect you." "Man, no, Ronnie, I know." So later after university they become married. And now after they're married he says, "Now that we're married, baby, can you suck my dick?" No, Ronnie, I can't. You won't respect me if I do." So then they have 2 boys, and then the next time he says, "Yes." "Well, Sally, how about it, baby? Come on, man. How long do I have to wait? Can you give me some head?" "No, Ronnie, no. You just won't respect me. I know you won't." "Oh, baby, yes, I will. No, I know you won't." The boys grow up. They go to university. They go to work. They leave home. Ronnie asks, "Come on now, for instance. Come on now, for Christ's sake. Give me some head. Suck my cock." So she does. And afterwards they're lying in bed. The phone rings. Keeps ringing. Turns to her and says, "Answer it, you cocksucker." I think that's enough. More. All right, here's the one I heard just recently. I don't know if I can do it well. This guy's got a bull. This farmer's got a bull. The bull has made all the cows in the whole place, and now the farmer wants to put the bull away, but he has no place to put it. He takes it to his next farm door neighbor, and he says, "Can I put my bull in your shed?" The neighbor says, yeah. "Is there anything in your shed?" "Yeah, there's one donkey." "Donkey. My bull is ferocious." "No, what we can do is we can put a bed sheet over the donkey so the bull doesn't notice. All right, we'll do that. That night, there's a terrific howling and bawling, coming from the where the bull and the donkey are. Farmer runs. The farmer who owns the donkey runs to the farmhouse and looks in. There's the bull by himself. Next morning, he's running all over town looking for his donkey. Have you seen a donkey? Have you seen a donkey? A donkey with a bed sheet over him. No, but we saw one with a handkerchief tucked up his asshole. All right. One more. This man goes to a health club, his wife's health club. And he says, well, then he has to go to the toilet. He says, please, I have to go to the toilet. And no, this is a ladies' place. You can't go to the toilet. But man, I'm going to crap my pants. Gotta let me use. No, you can't. Just go outside somewhere. Do something. Please. All right, listen. You mustn't touch the 3 buttons. The PP button, the WW button, and the ATR button. Don't touch those buttons. Yes. He goes in the toilet, he does what he has to do, and then he's very curious about these buttons. The PP button, the WW button. So he presses the PP button, powder wafts up onto his ass. Well, that's not so bad. The WW button, this is that. Wind goes across his bottom. The ATR button. He blanks out completely. A few days later, he comes to in the hospital. We told you not to touch those buttons, the PP button, the WW button, and the ATR button. The automatic tampon remover. You will find your cock on the pillow beside your head. Okay, that's enough.
Joe, are you going back to TV?
Yeah.